2 p.m. I reached home and the nurse told me grandmother had to be rushed to the hospital. Her blood pressure spiked. She had angina pain and asked for me multiple times before they decided that she had to be moved. I'm at the hospital now. The doctor tells me to wish for the best, but that they are not very hopeful. Critical time was lost in moving her to the hospital. For those of you who don't know me, I share a very special relationship with my grandmother. I am the child of her only child, who happens to be dead. Grandfather died a few years ago, and nothing was ever the same. My absentee father joined extremists a few years ago and has been incommunicado since then, like most of my life. I wouldn't be anywhere if not for my grandmother. She took me to school the same way she took her daughter before me, persevered with me through all odds and highs, opened her closet to share her saris with her tranny grandchild. Our relationship has not been perfect, I would admit. Over the years, I have expressed how tiring her role as a perfect provider can be, and she has, in many words, told me that I have not been the child she desired, but one she loves the only way she has known. For years, I have feared the loss of my grandparents, but nothing has prepared me, nothing will, for realities that are failed by words. The doctor sends a message to me. They are apologetic. They tried their best. I treat, he cures is the first thing I find written in a frame on the hospital wall. Over the years, I have led a solitary life. Whatever friends I had faded into acquaintances. A hookup here and there, but I found no lovers or enemies long enough to be interested in me. Most of my time went into caring for my grandparents, dealing with house chores and work, and looking after my failing health. Not sexy, right? Not stuff one writes about. Well, for all our creative juices, life continues to be weary and linear. As on cue to some prophetic moment, the TV in the waiting lounge blares climate emergency. The mobiles start buzzing. It's notifications from the government, social media. Remember the meteor the woke boy mentioned? It's confirmed that it's going to hit the earth, effectively making whatever's left of it inhospitable. I don't care much. I've struggled with my will to live, to be honest. Now that the last of my family is dead, leaving me with little time to find other forms of community, I'm less shook by this news, as some of you watching this might be. I walk out of the hospital and am hit by biting Delhi winter. I remember how my grandmother would constantly tell me, when she could, that I never give her enough of my time. For most part, I just dreaded thinking about death and felt caged at home, being reminded of mortality in the same house where I lost all my family members one after the other. In my younger years, I would keep myself busy, quite the opposite of what I have grown up to be. My younger self would be so disappointed in me, but that's not for me to judge. I am in the now and I am facing all of this. My past does not belong to me, and this is how I decide to tell the present, by escaping. As I make my way out of the hospital and check my phone, I have received multiple texts from people, none of whom I care to share my pain with. I check my socials. There's a confession from a friend who's into bestiality. Oversharing was one of the mass behaviors triggered since the news broke that the meteor might be headed towards our planet. In the months to the announcement, public spaces like metros and roads had become sites of sharing. Many people who felt alienated in their lives had camped there and started talking to random strangers. I scroll down. News articles. The army has disbanded. Soldiers have returned to their respective homelands to be with their loved ones in their last days, as there is no state left to protect, effectively demilitarizing Kashmir and other AFSPA states. There is art and songs with the slogans of Azadi in the streets. Who knew this would be the cost of liberation? I scroll down. A friend is talking about how it's okay for him to be in love with his daughter, and if the two of them agree to such an arrangement, the society should let them be. I scroll down. A statement by millionaires endorsing their crimes against humanity. Another news article. Delhi government passes plans for building housing where Yamuna once used to flow before it dried up. Notification. RSS Gay Boys Orgy has followed you on Instagram. I clear the notification and click on a video. It's from a group of moderates across the country. Sexual harassment and caste atrocities survivors are filing cases at unprecedented rates, despite crumbling criminal justice system and governments. The activist in the video explains how these cases are a step towards reclaiming dignity hitherto denied to the complainants, where their dignity was violated multiple times not only by the defendants but also by society and state. And if they are to die in some days, they want to hold their violators accountable. I like the post and feel a headache setting in. There's a rave party at the city's gay bar. I decide to go there. I see a person walking up to me. Funny thing, people apologize a lot for their transphobia when they are dying. I get into my car.